Yeah, that's what happens, man. It's a crazy business.
How have you used the last 48 hours to try and reset your team a little bit?
Watch film. I think film is always a great teacher because film doesn't lie. And I can say all these things, but when you can back it up with film in terms of, the turnovers. And it's not just don't turn the ball over. It's not just we have to rebound better. What goes into that? Finding solutions. The easy part is to look at a stat sheet and say, we gave up 51 points off turnovers and offense rebounds. Well, let's dig a little bit deeper and try to come up with solutions so we can be better. And I think this is offensively getting a lot more organized, limiting the random basketball, spacing the floor better, screening better, passing better. From a rebounding perspective, Katie, it's being the number one running team in the league is a blessing and a curse because everybody's so ready to get out and run long before we've secured the defensive rebound. So too many leak outs and the ball watching and just a lack of physicality. And that's probably my biggest concern for tonight. We have really struggled to rebound, and you're playing the number one offensive rebound team in the league. That will at some point tonight have both Şengün and Steven Adams on the court together. They averaged 20 points a night on the glass last five. That number's up to 24 points a night. So 11 games to go, losing 2 games in a row. We don't like that. And just more importantly than anything, just go out there and compete and play a lot harder than we did, especially in that Portland game.
What do you see from Thompson, as you're watching, obviously a talented young kid for the Rockets?
Well, man, him and his brother, just you're really seeing it, both those guys this year, growing into their own, making a name for themselves. Their athleticism, their ability to guard 1 through 5, how strong they are, how fast they are. There are clips when you watch them on film, like in the open court. It's just incredible. Like one of the best I've ever seen in terms of changing one end of the court to the other. Really impressive stuff. Outstanding cutter, very good offensive rebounder. So yeah, he is a hell of a young talent. And you look at this team. Obviously, Ime's doing a hell of a job. They've won 9 games in a row, and the young talent that they have, and you can tell what they look for. They're looking for versatility, size, strength, length, and they have a lot of that.
Other than just the numbers that you lose with no Nikola Jokic on the floor, how does not having him change what you guys have to do?
Where do I start? How much time do we have? No. I mean, you take a 3-time MVP off of any team. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of the holes, if you will. But Nikola offensively is the centerpiece of everything we do. When teams go on a run, you can post them up, you can play through them on the elbows, pass, cut, split game, and you're going to generate a good look. And so not having that guy to kind of play around and play through forces other guys to have to do some things that maybe they're not as effective doing when Nikola's out there. And then defensively, even though people think that Nikola is not a great defensive player, he is the anchor of our defense. His communication, his hands, his anticipation. So yeah, it's more than just the 30 points, the 13 rebounds, the 10 assists, the 2 steals. It's also just confidence. Hey man, I'm out here with Nikola. We're gonna be okay. And when you have that guy out there, it's very reassuring and gives that group that confidence. And while he's out, we have to find ways to find other sources of that.
Coach, you talk a lot about three-point defense. When you're preparing for a team like the Rockets, is it more important what the guy's done in the last 5 games, or do you base your defense closeouts, runoffs on what the player's done for the entire season?
We look at both. Obviously, during an 82-game season, there's going to be ebbs and flows, not just for teams but players as well. And there could be a guy who on the stat sheet for the season is shooting 31%. But the last 5, 7, 9, 10 games, they might be at 42%, and you have to account for that. that was one of the disappointing things in Portland. They had guys in Tumani Kamara, Denny Avila, who were really shooting lights out lately. And you try to tell our guys that, and we just didn't give them the respect that they needed. So you have to look at the whole picture, but I'm always a big believer in looking at, what have you done for me lately? What a team's doing? What kind of rhythm are they in? And making sure you adjust to that.
And Coach, you got a local area guy in DeAndre Jordan on your roster. What have you seen DeAndre add to this roster behind the scenes as a veteran leader?
Oh, just that. I mean, a guy that's been in the league for 17 years, was there for a championship run, was invaluable. So, in the locker room, in the huddles, really big part of our culture, the leadership that he brings, a calming influence. And when he is called upon to go out there and play, he's always ready, which is what you want from a guy like DJ, who's been a really big part of what we've been trying to do here for the last 2-3 years. So very thankful that he's a Denver Nugget and all he brings to the table each and every day.
One more. You guys obviously have made a commitment to getting Joker as healthy as possible. Do you have a feel for any sort of timetable as far as when he's back?
He's going to play in Denver. We have a 5-game homestand, so he'll play at some point, hopefully, in that 5-game homestand. Obviously he's not playing today. I don't think he'll play tomorrow. But we're just trying to get home and kind of see where he's at. But we got, this is the last game of a 4-game road trip and a tough trip so far. Obviously, started off with a really good win, 2 tough losses, playing against one of the hotter teams in the league, see what we can do here today. And at some point after tonight will be 10 games to go. It'd be great to have a chance to get that starting 5 some run together, because we haven't had a lot of opportunity to do that this season.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.